everyone, to episode 93 of Apron Podcast with Chia Boys. I'm your host, Michael Respass, and with me, as always, is your doctor-recommended dose of nerdiness, Carlos Rodriguez, a.k.a. Your Nerd Today. How's it feel to be back?
Feels good. Feels like we're back at it like a bad habit, man. We are back.
Yes.
We're back. We're going to ease our way back, too, with a fairly easy episode.
Yeah. I would say, although you were not here from the beginning, Apron Podcast has a lot of history when it comes to, obviously what we're talking about is WrestleMania. The idea for us to do this, which I know is crazy, we went to WrestleMania in Dallas, and WrestleMania, whatever the hell it was. And it's crazy that we'd go on a bus. We got the tickets from WWE. We did the package. So it's crazy for us on a bus with a bunch of people doing podcasts that we came up with the idea to do our own podcast. I know it's insane. Who would have thunk it? It's a real Cinderella story.
All these years later.
I should have set my chair up beforehand. So, if there's any better time to come back, it is WrestleMania season.
Of course.
So, I can fully take the blame for why we have not been on. Carlos has been doing his thing.
You're looking swole.
Yeah. I've been going to the gym, doing strongman competitions. But in all honesty,
that's wrestling related, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, my my computer also went to hell for a while there. So even when we were trying to record,
shout out to Micro Center.
Yes,
hooked both of us up. I mean, they didn't sponsor us.
No, but
they just had really good deals, and we took advantage.
Yeah, absolutely, beautiful place. I can thank fantasy football for me winning money. Although we did not, we don't gamble on that. That's not legal.
No, DraftKings.
But I won money in fantasy football, which gave me enough money to finally fix my computer. So
I will say, how cool it would be if we had like a DraftKings like promo.
Micro Center, DraftKings, we're right back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
So I bet you I'm very loud right now.
I don't know, you sound fine to me, but you're the one recorded it on your end.
No, and this is behind the scenes right here. But yeah, no, it looked very red when I was talking. See, our biggest problem, and I will tell you all out there, we always test out the microphones and volume before we start, and mine's was a lot lower than Carlos. So then I decided to put my volume up, and I didn't realize when we test, Carlos sits near his mic like normal. I don't. So when I get near the mic and I get excited, I talk a lot louder. So I apologize to those of you out there that probably listen to me scream. It should be better now, or I'm talking lower. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Turn your volume up. That's all.
But yeah, and then turn it down every time Carlos talks.
Yeah, exactly. Inconsistency. That's the apron work way.
So yeah, look at that, right back into it. So I am going to defer to you. I will say this, and I will get past this stuff very quickly, because this episode is about WrestleMania predictions, stuff like that, and we'll go through that. But for the most part, all this other shit can be talked about at a future date. But I started to watch WWE again, and then it was very noticeable that when Vince came back and was not a part of creative, he was a part of creative. And for those of you out there that say that, for those of you that say it's not true, look at it. I mean, please go back and don't have any type of WWE, AEW fandom. Go back to where it started and where it is, and you tell me that they're not two completely different products. They are. I don't care. You could be happy about the Bloodline storyline, but guess what? That was good when Vince was in charge. You can't give Triple H the credit for a storyline that's been going on, and Vince was always good at having one or two good storylines. It's the rest of the shit that was better when it was just Triple H and got a lot worse. And either Triple H fooled us all for a couple weeks, or somebody got their hands in it. It's either Vince or somebody who had always been there by Vince's side. But either way,
the ghost of Pat Patterson.
I got very excited for WWE, and then it slowly became what I used to hate. So yeah, I would defer to you when it comes to this. I still pay attention to it. I pay attention to it more now than I did before.
Same.
But,
yeah. I mean, it's also what, like 5 hours of TV.
Yeah, I'd say I haven't watched AEW in the last couple of weeks, but I will usually sit down and binge the last couple of weeks worth of AEW. Where
that's true. We talked about that before.
Yeah, I won't do that with WWE. So that's purely because I can't watch it live. If I didn't work overnight, I would watch AEW live every week.
Listen, your love of ROH is back, so you're watching ROH television, obviously.
I wanted to get back into MLW. I think the last time we recorded, or one of the last times I was talking about that because AEW got so exciting with CM Punk coming back, I was watching MLW. That was kind of the thing I was making sure I watched every week. And then I got behind, and because I am very much the type of person who doesn't like to miss anything, I always have to go back. I can't just start like where it's
you did
at.
Mention that, yeah.
I think I talked about going back and watching all your Nerd a Day episodes.
You did. I was like, man, these you commented from a video from 2 years ago.
For those of you out there who are big Star Wars fans, I never really watched any of the Star Wars stuff, like any of it. And I just went to a bachelor party a couple months ago, and we were watching. But somebody was talking about it. I said I never watched it, so it was like a 4-day weekend, and they put it on. They were putting. Well, I said Lord of the Rings first, so they put Lord of the Rings on, and then somebody mentioned Star Wars. I said, yeah, I never seen Star Wars either, and man, did we watch Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. But
that's 2 days right there.
I've went back, but I'm watching them in release order. So now I'm on season 3 of the Clone Wars. But again,
oh hell yeah,
I won't just skip and just watch the movies. I gotta watch everything from the beginning. And everybody's telling me, well, technically they're out of order, and you could skip this episode. And I said, no, I can't. I'm gonna watch it in release order. I'm gonna watch it the way I would have been had I actually watched them when they come out. So that's me, and that's my problem with WWE is there's so much each week that
there's too much.
I don't want to go back, but because that's the type of person I am, I have to go back. So
we've said it before on the show. I've said it with other people. 2-hour Raw, 2-hour SmackDown, perfect. 3-hour Raw, 2-hour SmackDown, too much. That 1 hour is too much. Always too much. Doesn't matter how good it's booked, too much.
Oh, and that'll get me on this rant real quick. Again, I know we got to get into WrestleMania, but this very quick rant of I don't think I've watched WrestleMania since it's been 2 nights, and I don't know that I'll ever watch all of WrestleMania again with it being 2 nights. I will. The product could be AEW. I won't watch something for 2 nights. I just won't. I don't know.
It's a lot.
It's weird to me. I'd rather watch 10 hours in one day. I'd rather it be the longest fucking Sunday or Saturday of my life and watch from beginning to end than I'd rather put 7-8 hours in Sunday than 4 hours one day and 4 hours the next day.
I mean, shit. Are we getting 2 hours, 2 nights next year when it comes to Philly?
I think so. I think this is the new it thing, which I'm not.
Even New Japan was like, yeah, we're done. We're done with 2 nights.
I would like to think they wouldn't keep it, but
the whole month.
They're going to, and it sucks because people are buying tickets to it and they're going to sell. But
listen, I'm looking forward to next year. Apron work will be there in some way, shape, or form. Capacity,
I'll be there both. I'll be there for everything we could possibly be there for. I've already
took off.
I would like to
press it off.
I would like to bring the family.
I can't believe I kicked the power cord again.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
It's fucking my fat ass feet. That's what it is.
I fully expect you to do it again. No, that was not fun. Okay, so since apparently we might be on limited time if this happens again, what I will quickly say is I intend on bringing the family. I just don't know if I can bring them both nights. It's too much. It's just too much. I don't want to do both nights. I just don't want to do both nights. I
want to do both nights, but not really at the same time. I'm so tired. I'm already tired for next year.
I compare it to everything else. Let's think about this. Do you watch Super Bowl?
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of people out there watch the Super Bowl even if they're not interested or whatever, Now imagine being semi-interested in the Super Bowl, not caring really about the teams in it. Mm-hmm. And now I tell you the first half is on Saturday and the second half is on Sunday. You're probably not watching both times. You're not taking up all that time to do it. If I told you it's going to take you 6 hours to watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, or you could split it up in 3 and 3, you're going to watch on Sunday way more than you're going to watch it split. It's just what's going to happen. I understand people are excited and thankful. The people who will watch anyway, they're probably very thankful for this. But I have not watched completely from start to finish any of these WrestleManias that have been on 2 nights, and I probably never will except for next year when I'm there. So, yeah, that's my rant. So before we get too much, this is the problem. We haven't recorded in a while, and there's too much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about, yeah.
So, go ahead, Carlos, let's run down WrestleMania 39? Is that
39,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's only because I know we're 40. All right.
That's an easy way to remember, yeah. All right, the Showcase of Immortals is this Saturday and Sunday, and we have 13 matches announced. Nothing.
13 cards. Ooh.
13 cards, yeah. it's Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what we're playing. All right. So first, and I'm just taking this off Bleacher Report. I don't know what the lineup is. I'm assuming Night 2's main event is Cody versus Roman. I think that's confirmed. I just don't know what Night 1 is.
Well, Night 1's opening match, I think, has been confirmed, right?
What's that one?
Austin Theory and John Cena, I think.
Oh, damn, that's a good opener.
Holy shit. I don't know. I'm going off of very little Twitter announcements and WrestleZone, but
yeah, all right, nice. Well, all right. So the list that we have here, we're reading off Bleacher Report. First off, we got Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, father versus son, and I've never heard a crowd pop so big for parental abuse. Apparently, y'all don't mind a dad beating the shit out of his son. That's kind of fucked up on y'all. No, this little shit deserves it. He's been an awesome heel. Ever since he turned heel, he's been really notching it up. He's really talented in this area. He's got the in-ring stuff, but now he's starting to mature as a heel, and it's working out really well. I will say a caveat to this match. I think there was talks last year about this. I kind of wish it was Ray's last match, especially if him going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Who knows? Maybe if he beats him down so bad.
Yeah, fair. I wish this was his final match, and I wish it was Mask. So Ray gets the mask. Sorry, Dominic gets the mask. Also, I think Dominic wins.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with this. I think there's very little to gain from Ray winning this.
He's done everything that you could think of in pro wrestling. That's not anything bad.
My guess is if this isn't his last match, which would be a real reason to push this off. I know everybody's been wanting this match. That makes it a big reason to push it off. If he's like, hey, I want him to be my last match. The first match with my son, I want to be my last match kind of thing. So it'd be cool. We know in the wrestling world that the cool things are never actually what happens. No. My guess.
I think if this is a series, it should end at SummerSlam.
Well, my guess is Dominic wins here. Ray wins overall. I don't see this being their only time meeting. That's what I think. Okay. It's one of those things where Dominic's going to win for the shock value of WrestleMania. But by the end of this, Ray will come out on top. I wouldn't doubt that you end up seeing family involvement, and I'm talking family involvement helping Dominic, because
Aaliyah's going to come back in the ring.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to see Ray's wife help Dominic win or some shit.
Oh,
I'm saying
beat the shit out of him. Yeah,
it'd just be at least he's
you can't hit our son. Okay.
Yeah, at least he's shown that he was a man, kind of thing, or something. It's gonna be one of those things where it's just gonna be all turned on Ray. I don't know. That's the.
It's also a match you watch with your kid and you just stare at them. You want to catch an ass whooping later, like he just did. I'll beat your ass. Dominic got his ass beat.
This is the attitude era.
I don't condone beating your kids, by the way. Just throw that out there. For CPS purposes, I don't condone that.
He absolutely does. So now the Attitude Era fan in me wants the storyline to go down that road of them all kind of ganging up on Ray, but who knows? Either way, I think Dominic wins. I don't see why you save their first meeting for this and have Ray win, but apparently Bleacher Report disagrees with us. So
yeah, I know they're predicting Rey Mysterio.
I don't know. I just don't see this being the ending of it. It's one of those. That's the way WWE gets around stuff like this. Dominic wins for the shock and awe of WrestleMania, And then by the end of the feud, Ray wins. So it's still good, comes out on top, just not when everybody's watching. Okay.
All right. So next we got the men's WrestleMania showcase match, which, I mean, what the hell does this mean? You know, it's a tag team showcase. There's a men's and a women's. We'll get to that in a moment. But there's no factor to this. Like, there's no, like, if you win, you get a tag team match against, you know, whoever wins the Undisputed. Unless they announce that, like, this weekend or on Friday Night SmackDown. So far, we don't know. But we have Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Pass, who you got?
It's WrestleMania, so Street Profits. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see Braun and Ricochet. I don't know how the crowd's been reacting to them, but just off of what I assume is crowd reaction. But then again, as we talked about previously, and actually now that we're doing this, I don't even know if I even have a recording of what we did the first 6 minutes. So we might just randomly be continuing an episode that we have no beginning for. But I don't know if Vince is actually involved. I could see Street Profits breaking up. But I'm gonna go Street. I'm actually going back on it. You know what? I'm very much in Vince is involved. Braun Strowman and Ricochet win because something happens to Street Profits, and then one of them turns on the other on Monday. So I'll go Braun and Ricochet.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Street Profits just because they got that heat. They got that smoke that they want all the time. I think Alpha Academy is the one that's gonna break up though this weekend, if not Monday.
I haven't been watching enough to know if there's been any.
It's like back and forth with Maximum Male Models. They've been like recruiting Otis. It doesn't matter. I just scuttlebutt that like Chad's breaking out on his own soon. So I think Montez does need to break out on his own. Not that Dawkins doesn't deserve like his own singles run or whatever. And me and Nick from Entrance Ramp were talking about this. Like I would really like if they broke up, but in like a handshake deal. Like no one turns on each other. Like even if they're bad guys later, you know, almost like a Sammy and Kevin, where they're like, all right, we're not seeing eye to eye. We could beat the shit out of each other because we're in like the Royal Rumble, but you still my brother. I got you. See, you know, like kind of that deal.
And Montez has gotten so much praise and stuff that I could see the whole.
He is a future world champion. I'm gonna say it right here.
I could see Angelo like basically turn on him on Monday. Like Montez tries to do something huge, cost them the match.
And he's like, "Why do you keep doing this?"
Yeah, and he
I would hate that. I only because it's always like, first of all, that's just so cliche. But it is WWE.
WWE's, you know,
I know.
It's one of those things. It's like we were talking earlier about Vince and Triple H and all that stuff. The Royal Rumble was very good this year, but it was it was like very good in a weird, predictable way, but not a bad, predictable way. If that makes sense, It was what you want out of a Rumble. Even though that's what you expect out of a Rumble, and you were happy with it because it's what you expect. And it's kind of the same thing. Like, I don't want them to just go on their way and be happy with each other and say, all right, cool, you're going to go do your thing. I want them to act like that, and then Dawkins beat the shit out of him, and then his first feud is beating Angelo Dawkins. Because that's typically what you get out of these tag teams.
Someone's got to be the Marty Jannetty.
I would prefer something like that because I like the cliche of wrestling. I understand when you're a fan of them. I also don't care for Street Profits as much as a lot of other people do. So
that's right. I feel like we talked about that before.
Yeah, so it don't bother me that much. But I think it would help propel him because he's the smaller of the two, and it's the getting, you know, Dawkins is the big. I mean, it's hard. He's not huge, but like he's the big guy of the two. But yeah, so I would still stick with Strowman and Ricochet because I could see that being as much as I always try to predict shit like that for WrestleMania. That seems like a Monday night after WrestleMania kind of thing. But
all right, yeah. So next we have the women's portion of the WrestleMania showcase. Again, we don't know what night this is, but we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natty and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna. And now, after last night, we have it's versus Chelsea Green and who's your tag partner?
Was it Carmella?
Carmella. Yeah, there we go. I was like,
it says it in the wild card would be the final edition of the match, which is likely to be a Tina, Chelsea Green, and Carmella.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I just read that. I was like, I'm looking at the graphic, like the actual graphic. I think we all know where this is going. Ronda and Shayna. And same. I hope this is for the women's tag title. Like, I hope they announce it, like whoever wins gets a shot at the at Damage Control, or whoever wins that match.
Yeah.
Lita and what's her name?
Well, and that's not even for the tag titles.
I know. I know. I had to correct myself. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's not even for a title.
I can say that I'm so super disappointed. It better be Ronda and Shayna. It just better be. But I'm super disappointed that we didn't get Ronda and Shayna against them for the tag titles. Like,
yeah, Damage Control. Or somebody, yeah, like Lita and Becky. Yeah, something like that. Or Lita,
like a triple threat for the tag titles or something like that. I'm very, like... The fact that they made that a 3-on-3 match instead of splitting that up into Bayley and Trish, and then somebody against Lita and Becky, it's disappointing.
Exactly. It's not like any of those 6 ladies can't go. They're all on top of their game. Like it's ridiculous.
I feel like you could have done that singles match, a triple threat tag match, and still had this showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they tried to fit as many women in matches as they could to get more women matches in here, and I can understand that.
It's that dichotomy, right? Like, how long does this match go? How long does that 6-man go or 6-woman go? And if they both go like a decent time, okay, cool. So then we have like 8 women, or not even 8. We have like, what's that? Shitty math. 14 women showcase throughout the 2 nights, and that's good. Then that's a positive thing, even though whatever happens in these fucking matches. But
yeah, I mean,
I'm with you. Like, storyline wise, it would make sense if they were in the showcase. If it was for the titles.
Out of 13 matches, there's 4 women's matches, and I realize they want to get as many as possible. But I feel like you could have fit one more match in. Had a 5th one and just
my numbers were off. I totally forgot about the actual world titles, the women world titles. Yeah. Not like I forgot about their matches. I just didn't include them in my numbers.
That's why, because none of these are world champions in them. So I understand. Like I said, it's one of those weird things. I think they're trying to fit as many on a WrestleMania card. I think that's why we have the men's showcase, not for titles. It's kind of like when they do the Battle Royal, when they used to do the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. They're trying to get everybody a WrestleMania paycheck, and I get that part of it. But man, do I feel like you could have added one more match and just let this tag match not go on very long.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, some of the tag teams, like especially with the women's, are very thrown together, right? So like Shayna and Ronda always had a connection. That makes sense. Natty and Shotzi, not really. Chelsea Green and Carmella, though, that makes sense. So that's 2 teams. And then you have Liv, who's like red hot. She just came off like a SmackDown title over the summer, and like she actually, after losing the title, has like propelled herself. It's been at least in the talk, and she's been really like good, and she's really elevated her game. But it's like her and Raquel, like that none of this like really gels other than the 2 heel teams.
No,
but yeah. We're in unison, Ronda and Shayna.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have. Probably going to be like the sleeper hit of the night, both nights. I don't know if people know this or not, but as Sheamus like to say, this is going to be a banger. We got the Intercontinental Championship match between Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Gunther. As Big E says, that's just big meaty men slapping meat. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be a good match. This is going to be a really good match, and I think a lot of people are underestimating it and not talking about it enough. I also want Sheamus to win.
You want Sheamus to win, or you think Sheamus is going to win?
Yeah, no, I want Sheamus to win. I think Gunther wins. And I'm not upset. Whoever wins out of these 3, I'm not upset. Right. But I think Gunther wins. I want Sheamus to win.
Yeah, I think the reason why people are not talking about this enough is because I think most people have the same sentiment that Gunther's probably going to win. And that's, I would prefer him to win. I want to see is and that most people are not going to agree with this, and I realize how awful this is going to feel to even hear me say this, but I'm going to predict on what I want to see and less about what I think is going to happen. I think, for the benefit of us having WrestleMania in Philly next year, Gunther wins, holds on to the Intercontinental title all the way until next WrestleMania.
Ooh,
and not only,
I'm not upset with that.
Not only that, but we get a very much a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior style match between a still reigning, defending Roman Reigns with the World Unified title at next WrestleMania.
Oh my God.
And we finally get that Gunther being the guy who finally can beat Roman. While he has the Intercontinental title, you have the very much the two big ones against each other to headline the 40th WrestleMania, and you get that very much feel. Now, do I see it happening? No, not at all. Do I want to selfishly? People will fucking hate it, and I will say this with absolute. I know everybody wants Cody to win. I'm sure the person that I'm talking to right now, who has a Cody Rhodes shirt on, wants Cody to win.
Just stretch it. That's all.
But what I will say is, I wish they would. I wish they did it now. I wish they did it this year. On that pure, because what now Gunther's like the longest. What, since Honky Tonk Man or whatever, like since whoever.
He's the longest, he's the longest Intercontinental.
So now he's held it for a while. Roman's the longest modern champion, you know. So now you have both guys holding on to these titles for forever. So why not keep pushing it? Why not push it to next year? Why not finally get that?
I'm not super upset with it. It's just my only argument with it, obviously I want Cody to win too, and we'll get to that later, and we'll talk about that more at length when we get to that match. But with Roman, I'm with you. It should happen this year because, and this is not, no offense to Roman, it's just now is the perfect time for a change because it's not that it's getting stale. It's still good, but it's starting to peak. It peaked.
Yeah. So
I don't want him to hold the title as it starts declining.
I think my biggest problem with Roman losing it to Cody, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like I'm not, and that I rarely ever am. That it seems like Cody's journey and not Cody against Roman's journey, if that makes sense. I feel like when Roman was going to lose, and I think that's why so many people wanted Sammy to be the one to win, is Sammy was intertwined in this bloodline storyline for a while, and that's why people wanted who was the one he feuded with? Jay Uso, right? Was the one that Roman was like, that's why people want to see Jay or
the last
Sammy.
Time he talked like a pinfall, I think it was against Jay, right?
Or hell, even Kevin Owens. You want guys who are intertwined in this bloodline storyline. Cody has not. Seth Rollins. You have a lot of guys that have been intertwined in this long ass bloodline. The Rock, who has not been intertwined, but he gets very intertwined into it purely because of, for lack of a better term, bloodline.
Fair.
Cody's very much on the outs of this storyline. This is Cody's journey to the championship. It's not Cody's journey to beat Roman. It's not Roman finally losing to the next big thing. It's not any of that. Where Gunther, I feel like if you give that next year, I don't see The Rock and Roman happening in Philly. Now you get to the point where maybe Roman starts ducking Gunther.
Okay.
You know, Gunther starts calling him out and he starts ducking him. And then you get a very much AEW MJF-ish, like he's got to beat certain guys on his way there kind of thing.
Yes. But sporadic, not every title defense for MJF.
Yeah, and then like, you know, Gunther's finally going to get it and then Roman doesn't show up or something like that. Like, you just draw this shit out and then it finally comes out to where Gunther wins the Royal Rumble. And now Roman can't duck him no more.
I think that's a fucking great storyline. I'm not gonna lie, that's a good storyline.
It's a way to keep this bloodline thing still going, where now it's not just Gunther's road to the title; it's Gunther's road over Roman, and that's I think that's my biggest issue with this is the crowd's going to react very big to Cody winning if Cody wins.
Oh yeah,
but it could be bigger and it should be bigger because the bloodline has probably, if not been the best thing in wrestling, which sucks so much that WWE has sucked so long, because bloodline's probably been the best thing in wrestling for a long time now.
Hell yeah.
And it's just
absolutely,
it's been ruined by everything else WWE's been doing. But like to end Reigns' reign, with a random Cody finally getting one for his, that it just, I don't know. And I realize I'm talking a lot about a match that we're going to talk about later, so I don't have to talk as much about this later. But yeah. So Gunther, for everything I just said. Yeah, no. I just realized now we're not even on that match.
No, it's hilarious. No, I think you're right. I like that storyline. I don't think you're wrong or out of pocket for saying that. And I think I'm with you. I think that we both agree Gunther's going to win. I like the idea of Sheamus winning just because he's earned it. Like, he's earned like just being that guy in WWE. If he loses, I'm fine. It doesn't matter.
Will say, if Cody ends up winning, I'm fine with Gunther losing by not being pinned. I think that's what needs to happen.
Drew gets pinned.
I think Sheamus pins Drew. So now Gunther never actually lost it, but now they can split the titles. Like, if the rumors are true and they're going to split the titles, now you can have Gunther go after one of the titles, probably become a world champion, while getting the title off him without him losing. It's very much a way to do that, to save him. Yeah. So it's like where you said that you see Gunther winning, but you want Sheamus. I want Gunther to win, and I see Sheamus winning. So I'm probably on the opposite end of that. So
that's great. All right, so next we got the Hell in a Cell, back to its silver, regular metal looking Hell in a Cell, as reported and leaked online. We have Edge versus Demon Balor. And there's rumors that Edge is going to have a special entrance, obviously. Maybe a dark entrance, maybe some blood, with probably, some would say, one of the best theme songs ever in pro wrestling. Man, how crazy would it be if Christian just came out like Tony Khan's like one night? You get one night.
I was going to say, I mean, they did some type of deal with them, like
for Jericho to be on Steve Austin's show. Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you're going to do the Brood entrance, you need Gangrel, Edge, and Christian all coming up together, especially if Balor's coming out with Judgment Day. You need or else I think I listened or read somewhere, they said Brood Edge is an entrance. He's not any different. Where at least the Demon Balor at least is like...
He's a little more stronger.
He's supernatural and all that shit. Yeah, no. Edge
just not against Roman Reigns.
Unless he bites him at some point and spits blood out. Like, that's him coming out to a different entrance doesn't make him... If anything, him coming out as the rated R superstar, I'd be scared of more if I was Finn.
Yeah, that motherfucker is scary. That motherfucker would hit your girl, hit you... Edge is rated E for everyone can catch these hands. That's what he is. Him and Randy Orton are menaces to society. Even when they're good, like, I don't trust you, motherfucker. You bound to hit me with a spear. It's tentative. Like Christian, I even as a bad guy, I was like, you could, maybe you got a bad side, maybe you got a good side. Who knows? Edge is like, nah, motherfucker. I kiss babies and shake hands. Like, not me. I don't trust you. Can't, man. I trust a Demon Balor more than Edge. Who do you got?
If Balor does come out as a demon, I'd say Balor.
I feel like he needs a win, right? Like Demon Balor hasn't won.
Yeah,
in a while.
Yeah, that's it's a tough one for me because I feel like it's one of those things where this, unlike the Mysterio storyline, which I know most people think that they're finally wrestling, this is the end of it. It is not the end of that. This has been going on for too long. I don't see this continuing after this.
Nah, this has to be the blow-off.
So the whole point would be for Edge to finally go over. I just don't understand having Demon Balor lose again.
Yeah, I will preface. I think Finn's gonna win. I will also preface that I think. Listen. I think Edge doesn't necessarily need to win.
Right.
It's not even just age, just like his position in the card. If he hasn't already won a world title, like it's not gonna happen right now, right? Edge doesn't need to win. Edge is a main man. He's literally a Hall of Famer. He'll be multi-time too once Christian gets in there with him. Like in the Edge and Christian tag team, he will win Hall of Fame, and then Christian will get his own one day. Yeah, he doesn't need it. And Balor's going to be the guy who's going to be there for a couple more years. Edge has a shorter shelf life, and that's not even because of injury. It's just like age, right. And not even negative. Like it's just like he even said it. Like the motherfucker's going to want to retire eventually. You know? Like
yeah.
So I'm going with Balor,
and that's I don't want to spread any rumors. I don't know how true any of this is, but let's say we get a Jay White on Monday.
Ooh.
Then you got the Bullet Club. I know a lot of people try to talk about him with AJ and stuff, but you got kind of the Bullet Club. You know, the storyline already penciled in there with Finn and Jay White. I don't know. Again, that's not me predicting anything. I
agree with you.
Fully, wholeheartedly prefer Jay White to be in AEW. But you know, it leaves that out there, and like you said, Edge don't need to win. So I hope they don't give him the win. I just don't. I don't see, other than in a box, not looking at the guys' names and hearing what's happened in the storyline so far. That's the only reason it makes sense to have Edge win. The only reason. Yeah. Everything else tells you to have Finn win this match. So if Finn loses, I hope Finn loses as Finn and not as Demon, because
this is WWE though.
If he loses as the Demon, then please don't ever bring it back. You lost all credibility.
It's done. Yeah. No, I agree. And here's the most probably my bathroom break. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Wow, I don't give a fuck about this match. Lesnar? No, Lesnar needs to stop beating black dudes up. Come on, man. Biggie, Kofi. I know they're world champions as well. That kind of also takes that. But come on, man. We don't need this anymore. You know what I mean? You're a menace to society when it comes to Black History Month. You know, and black people, Brock Lesnar. He's the nicest man, too. It's just his in-ring record in WWE is just very negative toward people of a certain color. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. It's negative towards all colors.
That's true. Yeah, his hands are also rated E for everybody.
Yeah, no.
He's a motherfucker online saying I hate everybody, and actually you believe him.
I think this is one we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on. Lesnar's going to win this. It very much paints itself as, oh, he's going to let a young guy get over. They didn't do enough to make me. Again, not to continue to bring AEW up, because I really don't want to, but like a guy like Satnam Singh, who has already shown you little like hints of he can be athletic if you put him in the ring. He's somebody who I felt like would fit in this, and he would show you a little bit of something each week. I'm not watching, but from everything I'm reading, almost still hasn't shown anything to even resemble at putting up a fight on Lesnar. I'm assuming this is just gonna be less about showing off Omos and more about showing off how strong Lesnar is.
Yeah,
when he
and the only thing I can think of with
out of Omos.
Yeah, the only way I see Lesnar losing is if the Hurt Business gets back together.
Yeah, and that in itself would be a big thing.
The pop for me in that match would be the Hurt Business getting back together, because she never should have fucking broken up.
Especially because the history that Lesnar has with Lashley, and it's like Lashley getting one over. It's Lashley getting one over on Lesnar.
Yeah.
But like it's Lashley that's true. Yeah, Shelton. Yeah. But like that's Lashley getting one over on Lesnar, being able to say, how you couldn't beat Omos at WrestleMania without having it also be Lesnar and Lashley again. Like just recontextualized. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's what I would prefer. What you're saying, but they're just gonna have Lesnar F5 him just to show it on Raw for the next 6 years.
F5 the ref for no reason, even though the ref wasn't prepared.
Yeah, so
and Lesnar's like, deuces, I'm gonna get a bigger paycheck somewhere else. Going back to New Japan. Next match, I am excited because of the women in the match, but we've already talked about like how it should be two separate matches.
Yeah.
We have Damage Control versus the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus. Yeah. I think Damage Control should win. Should win.
Really?
They're probably not going to win. I mean, they're an established team, right? Again, the established team in my brain should win. Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. I was like messing up their names. Should win.
For those of you listening to this and not watching it, I've been shaking my head this whole time with my eyes closed.
But we know the legends and the man Becky Lynch with the highest women's rating in WWE 2K games now are gonna win, and that's fine. I'm not upset. This is going to be a good match. B, the costume's going to be impeccable because all of them are fashionistas, and I can't wait to see what they wear. But yeah, Becky, Lita, and Trish are going to win. Okay. I want Damage Control. I want to say that out loud. I want Damage Control to win. This is like Sheamus. I want them to win. They won't.
I have watched every celebrity, every legend since the beginning of time win at WrestleMania. I watched Lawrence Taylor beat Bam Bam Bigelow. I've watched it all.
Bad Bunny.
If they lost to Damage Control, it'd be the first time ever. It ain't happening. They ain't bringing Lita and Trish back. They ain't putting them all in this match. They ain't doing any of that. What's going to happen is it's exactly why Damage Control is in this match and why it's not like Bailey, Baszler, and Rousey or some shit. Purely because Dakota is there to lose. Maybe even Io. It don't matter. It won't be Bailey.
Bailey's not in that pit.
One of them two are there to lose this match.
And Io's going to hit like a high spot. She's going to do that crazy jump off of something.
But there ain't any reason to have any of those three other women, Becky, Lita, or Trish, eat a pin. There's just none. Yeah. There's zero reason. And it doesn't even benefit them to have, let's say, Becky turn on Lita or something, because it's not like they're going to lose the titles by the result of it. So, like, there's just... Yeah, there's no reason to have them lose this match. I know, like what you're saying, that Damage Control is established, but really, are they? I mean, they don't. It's not like they win a whole lot anyway. They kind of came out. Just because they've been hanging out with each other doesn't mean they're an established team in that sense. So yeah, again, there's not. This match would be more fun to watch than to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next, what a lot of people are predicting might be the end of night one. The Raw Women's Championship match as Asuka, basically bringing back her Kana personality from Japan, versus Bianca Belair. I'm going to go with Asuka. I think you don't introduce this like new persona or reintroduce it if you're a fan of Asuka's and Kana's from Japan and not have a payoff. And it's not even the supernatural thing, the mist or whatever. Obviously the mist is going to play a part in this. Maybe we have someone else who created, who are more recognizable with the mist come out. You know what I mean? Someone who just retired from in-ring competition in January. Just saying, if maybe the quote-unquote master of the mist assist another supernatural creature. I'm just saying, if Great Muta comes out, first of all, if Great Muta comes out and Mark got to see Great Muta in AEW and WWE in one calendar year, like a 12-month period, right. I'm telling you right now, Mark Lindsay of Got Mark 76, check him out on YouTube, he will have a fucking heart attack. He will have a heart attack from just that, or he's going to lose all his blood because he's going to have the biggest boner in Philadelphia. You can look in the sky, you will see a giant dick. That's what you're going to see. What do you think?
I hate to burst your bubble, but you're wrong. Bianca wins. I think the whole. I'm
also happy if she wins, by the way.
I think the whole introducing the character is just because if Bianca beats Asuka, it doesn't have that same feel. I feel like this is meant for her to go over somebody she's not supposed to go over, kind of thing. I don't know.
Like another not hurdle, but like another like feat of strength, right? Like a Herculean feat of strength that Bianca can do.
Yeah,
I agree.
I feel
that's good too.
I feel like she might get like missed it and still win. Like I just I don't know. Maybe it's me not watching enough WWE recently, but just seeing this in a bubble of looking at all the other matches. And I've always said WrestleMania is more about the casual than it is the people who've been watching constantly. When you look at this match in a bubble of all the other matches, it stacks up very close to the two showcase tag team matches.
Yeah, I'm also cool if if Bianca wins and holds the title for a length of period similar to Roman. Yeah. I heard someone suggest that. I think it was Booker T. I think suggested it was a most recent podcast episode. And I'm like, you know what? She's the one who could run that title.
Just wait till she beats Asuka, and then Charlotte Flair unifies the titles.
God, that would be the WWE way. Yeah. All right.
You got the wrong person on that run. That's right? Charlotte Flair's run that you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. That's why she's 17-time world champion as well. That's how you get it. God damn, she beats John Cena and her dad's record. God fucking damn it. All right, next. One of my most excited matches for the night, and I might go a little conspiracy theorist here, and I love how crazy people are getting online about this. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships are on the line as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn go against the Usos of the Bloodline. So, full-on conspiracy theorist time. I don't know if you've seen any of this online, because people, and this is not like, like the hardcore fan. This is people just actually having fun, which is nice for a change of pace online. People think Jay is aligned with Sammy. And still to this day. So that moment when, I believe, what did Sammy beat? Who did he beat? Was it Jimmy? He beat Jimmy in a match like about a month ago. And then that's when Jay turned like fully. He was like, I'm with the Bloodline no matter what. Hugs him and talks to him for a second. A lot of people think that when he was in his ear, he was like, I'm with you, but I got to super kick you real quick. I got to make it. It's like mob. It's like a mob, right? The mafia. I got to make this look good. I'm wired, bro. Like, you got to you got to take this bullet real quick in the leg. And Jay is actually aligned with, I don't know Kevin necessarily, but with Sammy. And he has turned fully on the Bloodline. And he will turn on his brother, Jimmy, which will start him, I guess. You can start that Bloodline, go Jay against like being his brothers, all that stuff, being Solo, being Jimmy, being, whoever, and then finally being Roman down the line too as well. Because that's another good feel good moment. But that's conspiracy theory online, and I love it. I live for that shit. I also think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are just going to win no matter what. No conspiracy theories. I just think they're going to
win. Speaking of conspiracy, this is not a conspiracy, but when I look at this match, I see it in a completely different light, and it's purely I don't like face Owens. I never have. I never will. I don't like good guy Owens. I think he's so good at being a bad guy. He's just so good. It's just a shame. It's a shame. He's so good at being a bad guy. I don't know what I'm going to see. I'm assuming we're going to see Sammy and Kevin Owens win. Sammy finally got over on the Bloodline, all this shit, right? What I would like to see, I'm very much hopeful for Kevin to turn on Sammy and be like, you got to be kidding me. Do you really think I was going to help you? And then Sammy still wins. So then, like, you have this weird thing where, like, Kevin and Sammy are the tag team champions, but, like, they're not together. And you just have very, like, because they're more of a comedic team when they're together, like, I would love to see very much, like, Kevin Owens, like, trying to cost their team matches, and Sammy just like
winning,
just accidentally winning odds. Matches, like just accidentally winning them, like tripping and like, falling.
Yeah, that haluva kick, and he's just so exhausted he falls on top of
it. Just like the very like Owens goes in and like tries to stun Zayn, and Zayn falls backwards and rolls up the guy by accident, or so. I'm it's sad that that's like the shit that people get mad at WWE for, but I feel like Sammy and Kevin Owens do that so well that like I could absolutely see them like, and then it's just one of those things where they just keep winning, so then like Owens finally like starts coming around to it, and then like Sammy turns on Owens, like just some like weird thing where like you're like wait what, like Sammy's finally had enough.
Rock and sock connection,
where like Owens really wanted nothing to do with this, but they just keep winning, and then he just finally starts opening up to it, and then Sammy's like, nah, screw you, and then, I don't know. I maybe WWE is like warped my mind when I watch when I see these things.
You're like in a battered relationship. You're like, you just expect the worst.
And especially...
which is not actually bad. That's not a bad storyline.
And especially because everybody's, like you said, you got you have the Jey Uso part of it, you have the bloodline part of it. It's a way to separate Sammy from this bloodline storyline without people almost forgetting it quickly, in the lack of a better term. If you have Owens turn on, and now you're like, wait, what the fuck's going on with Owens and Zayn? And then you almost start forgetting that Sammy was ever even a part of the bloodline. You know? Because now it's becoming this whole Owens and Zayn thing, and their relationship is not as much connected with the bloodline as it is with their old history. So I don't know. I feel like if Sammy winning his match, does it really won over on the bloodline? Not really. Like you said, outside of Jey turning on Jimmy, which people have been begging for that for years, and I don't see them ever breaking the Usos up like officially. So
no, Jay's got the stuff though. He definitely definitely.
I am very believable that I think it's believable that he can, but outside of injuries, I don't see them going that path because of
DUIs, whatever.
But
inability to drive to other countries, travel, that stuff. Even though somehow they made it to Canada, I don't even know. That was definitely a illegal border crossing at some point. WWE perpetrated some kind of border crossing that was illegal. So yeah, I guess we were both going Owens and Zayn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then so next, and this I hate because my brain and the internet just always like it seeps in. We have Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I really want Ripley to win, and I also want, because in my brain someone was like, "Hey, last time they battled, right? She came out as Prince Vegeta." So she had the blue Saiyan armor, she had the Saiyan armor basically as her type. And what if this time she comes out as Majin Vegeta because she's bad? I was like, fuck you, take my money. I mean, Peacock already has my money. I don't need to pay anymore, but still, that'd be fucking cool. And then she wins, I hate that Charlotte's probably going to win, but I'm going to stick with my prediction that Rhea wins.
Yeah. I mean,
see, if Rhea wins, Charlotte could get her win back and become 18-time women's champion. God damn it, it's gonna happen.
Charlotte could just go ahead and beat Bianca on Monday.
Don't stop, because every time you say shit like this, it happens. Vince McMahon's back, fucking all this other shit. You fucking truth seeker, or truth fucking finder out of nowhere.
I think purely because I don't want to put it out there in the universe, and we could go over this. I actually think not only is Rhea gonna win, but I think she's gonna win like convincingly.
I think she needs it, especially after, not necessarily after the last loss. Like that was fine, it was okay, it kind of makes sense, but like this kind of tells a perfect storyline in a weird roundabout way.
And it's almost like what we hoped Omos and Lesnar could be.
Yes.
Where like Ripley is very believable to be that person for the women's division, where Omos would not be believable as that person for the men's division. So like as much as you want to see Omos just come out and just destroy Lesnar and be like, oh shit, who's this guy?
again.
Oh no.
Oh, he's back.
Nah, it just. I don't know.
I can hear you.
Yeah, and people are not seeing us currently. This will be fixed in a second.
But we're still recording, correct?
Yeah, the recording did not stop. It's just we went
that's a win.
The screen went black. You're now in my area right now. Hold on. Let me turn on my camera and let's fix this.
Ooh. Oh, there we go.
For those of you listening and not watching, the Discord stopped for a second that we are recording on. So our videos went away, but we're still talking.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, same. Rhea Ripley. And I hope she really does. I hope no one leaked that. I think it's collective consciousness. We all want her to come out as Majin Vegeta now, and I think it needs to happen. She needs to come out. That or God of Destruction Vegeta. Like, she has to have the purple hair and like the fucking.
That's the only reason why I'm watching.
Yeah. There's so many other people want to see mommy too, you know. Anyway, that felt gross saying that out loud. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. You know who I'm going for. Lopez has to beat Logan Paul, even though he's not really Hispanic. He was just adopted by someone with the last name Lopez.
Deep down, and you love Logan Paul.
In ring wise, he is nice. Was my second match in WWE 2K23, which my video is blocked in most countries because of WWE. Fuck you, man. Come on, release that block. Was my second match Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul and Bad Bunny beat him? Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I don't know, man. This is weird. You always say the celebrity wins, but technically he's not a celebrity. He is technically a contracted WWE superstar.
I'm going to help you out here before you officially embarrass yourself. Not only is he a celebrity, he's one of the better wrestlers they have currently.
Yeah.
He is.
No, I will agree.
Now, those two things. Now, listen to number 3. He is also one of their biggest box office draws. It's like bringing Lesnar back once every couple months and having him lose every time. As much as Seth, it would be nice to see him win, there is little to no reason to have Seth win. And there's a lot of reasons to have Logan Paul win. There's just a lot. I mean, it's a lot. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of reasons to have Logan Paul win. And there's almost... Is this going to hurt? Deep down, is this going to hurt people's view on Seth Rollins if he loses? No.
No.
Even if Logan Paul has a huge match against Rollins and Rollins eventually comes up and wins, does it help him? Yeah. But does him saying he beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania... it continues the lore of Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul's got to win. I look at it from a wrestling point of view and not the human being side of it, which I know you.
It's hard not to. Listen, pure wrestling wise, like shitty, like what he does to Puerto Rico aside, great wrestler. I'm not gonna lie. And also, he's just a shitty person all around. Just in real life, he is actually an '80s movie villain through and through. Great wrestler, You know, it's like Austin Theory. Did he get in trouble for texting young girls? Absolutely. Did nothing come of it? Absolutely. Is he a great wrestler? Sadly, yes. Yes, he is. Is he going to be world champion one day? Sadly, yes. But still. Gross, you know. No, Logan's great. Here's my thing. Dream booking. There's actual government documents for the first time in WWE. They actually have like an actual contract in a briefcase, and it's official government documents, not some kayfabe bullshit. Logan Paul. All right, technical difficulties are just plaguing us this episode.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to even make the joke. My computer's having issues. Unfortunately,
should we make the joke once an episode at least? Not anymore.
We probably should have did a test run with a lot, a smaller.
Even
episode.
the computer is like, "Wait, y'all back?" Yeah, we are back. Come on, stop.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, conspiracy theory. Logan Paul beats Seth Rollins. Backlash next month is, fucking whenever. The next pay-per-view or premium live event is in San Juan, Puerto Rico. we get WWE actually work with official, like, government officials of Puerto Rico. Loser leaves Puerto Rico match. Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul. Bad Bunny wins in San Juan. The biggest pop you ever heard for multiple reasons. Wrestling, real life. He's an 80s villain. Literally put into he's a Gargamel. He's basically fucking Gargamel.
You want to keep Logan Paul as the villain. You have that match and Logan Paul wins.
No, because he's Bad Bunny's Dana Kardashian. It's gonna be bad. Like it's gonna be like Get Out. All right. But yeah, anyway, I think Rollins is gonna win, but I think maybe Logan Paul needs to win from a pure. Oh God, that felt gross saying it. I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. From a pure wrestling side, he's lost recently, so he should probably win.
If I were to do anything, and let's say this is Brock Lesnar's last match with WWE, I feel like having Logan Paul come out and put on a good match and like rolling up Lesnar, like to be like that would have been more of his WrestleMania moment in my mind, like to be the guy who beat the Undertaker, to be able to beat Lesnar, like to catch him off guard and basically have Lesnar throw a fit and be like, celebrities have beat me, I'm done. Like I don't know, I have like a weird feeling that would, and who's to say Lesnar ain't coming back to next WrestleMania, but like if
true,
that would be more what I would prefer to be my Logan Paul WrestleMania moment. But and it's funny because you're like, I don't want him to win ever, and I'm like, not only should he win, he should beat Brock Lesnar.
Beat Brock Lesnar.
But like, yeah,
legitimate MMA fighter.
But yeah, well, they bill Logan Paul as a legitimate boxer, so yeah. But I Logan Paul. It's the same reason I gave with Lita and Trish. I don't really need to go that much detail. All right. So
2 more matches. Yep. Yeah, we got the United States Championship match. John Cena and his bald spot, which I'm not making fun. We're all getting that monkey butt at this age now. Versus
don't watch
Austin
any of my
Theory.
Strongman videos. They show a lot of a bald spot.
No, I told you to shoot from the front, not the back. What you do? Yeah, we have United States Championship match. John Cena versus Austin Theory. Theory. And again, that hurt to say out loud, but Theory needs to win. Just from he's the young guy. He's going to be the world champion again. Cena's never going to be world champion again. Theory needs to win. Plus, he lost last year to Pat McAfee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Vince had to come out, right?
I don't even want to talk about that. That was the worst stunner I've ever seen in my life. God damn, that was so bad.
But what I will say, out of this is the one theory that I heard. No pun intended. And actually, I think it going on first on Saturday, which I think was either announced or rumored or whatever, hold some weight to it a little bit. And I think maybe that's why they're doing it. The one thing, and I hate to use his name twice in this whole prediction thing, is Jay White. But I remember reading somewhere where they said John Cena beats Austin Theory. He comes out on Monday and does his John Cena United States Open Challenge. And it gets answered by Jay White. Jay White comes out, beats him. And now it introduces Jay White to everybody who may not know who he is. It's kind of like the whole Kevin.
To happen.
It's like the Kevin Owens coming out and introducing himself to John Cena, and he made a name for himself for the people who didn't know NXT or Kevin Owens already. It kind of
with Sami Zayn, yeah.
It makes a name right away for Jay White.
And now Michael Cole can say, or at least the announcers can say, New Japan Pro Wrestling, IWGP. Yeah. They can say these things now, right? So they can say former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, former IWGP Intercontinental Champion,
And it's funny that, like, them going on first, because some people predicted that this happens on Saturday, and then John Cena comes out on Sunday, and it happens. And then other people predicted that it happens, and then on Monday he comes out. This is going on first.
Save it for Monday.
But this is going on first on Saturday. If you remember right, we got Austin both nights last year.
True.
It's a way to get Cena out there both nights. Right now, currently,
as a fan, you get your money's worth with
right now, currently, it's 13 matches. So if they want to split it up 7-7, you get an impromptu John Cena Open Challenge for WrestleMania. Get a nice little WrestleMania moment for Jay White. My saying it's going to happen now. I think I'm talking 5% here. I think it's a very low percentage.
It's rare that a debut happens at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Cody's even an outlier because it wasn't a debut. It was just a reintroduction. You know, like that wasn't, and that was also the worst kept secret in fucking pro wrestling.
But like it I don't know. I felt like this going on first Saturday was almost a nod to that rumor, and I feel like Theory's going to win. But man, if Cena wins, to me, and I just said I will not watch both nights. Let's say if I find out Cena wins, I'm probably flipping this on, and I'm definitely watching Sunday, and I'm definitely watching Monday. And I'll probably be disappointed because Jay White will not show up. But I could tell you from a viewer standpoint, if I wasn't going to watch, Cena winning this match to start off WrestleMania puts a, wait, what? Something else has got to happen. Cena ain't staying. There's no way Cena gets this holds on this title after Monday. So who's coming to win it? And the WWE way would be Theory answering the challenge on Monday, winning it back. But now they already got your viewership, so it don't matter.
Yeah, that's true. No, I like this, and honestly, we're not going to get into it in this episode because we'll see how Monday plays out. AEW is a hot mess right now, backstage wise, and as much as I want Jay to go to AEW for a match standpoint, in my head, Kenny and him again do all that shit. I want him to go to WWE.
And, I said
and that's if Vince is really not in charge. If Vince is not in charge, I want him to go into WWE because I think he would flourish. I said
earlier, as a fan of AEW, I want him to go to AEW, and now I'm going to literally retract that statement purely from a point of AEW has too many guys at the top, like guys I want to see. Like Adam Cole is nowhere close to the top there as far as being a legit top 4, 5, 6 guy there. Let's say in another universe or whatever the hell happens that Punk comes back. Now you got Punk, you got Hangman, you got Omega, you got MJF, you got Jericho. You got guys that are sitting there at the top. Adam Cole.
Moxley.
Jay White gets kind of lost in that. In WWE, if you keep 2 titles, if you separate them, you have Cody and Gunther, because if Roman goes on a break, or hell, he has had health issues in the past, he might not be long for WWE anyway. Lesnar's almost gone. Even the guys like Balor and Rollins are on the I don't want to say downside of their career, but they're not on the upside. Randy, I know, will come back eventually, but like you don't have those guys. Jay White might flourish as that guy in WWE more than there's an opening for him to in AEW.
I think they've done a great job this past year under Triple H re-establishing both the U.S. and Intercontinental titles.
Right.
So now they are legitimate titles again, and not just for us wrestling fans, like for legit, like for everyone. They are legitimate titles that are defended more often and with good matches and great champions.
Now, imagine Gunther wins and that whole thing happens where I say now you got Gunther, you got Jay White as your United States and your Intercontinental champions, just defending them constantly. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't believe it, but I will say, knowing WWE, have we heard legit rumors about where Jay White's going? He's going somewhere. No. He's going for New Japan,
it's literally AEW or WWE, but no word. And of course, Impact. Like, hey man, we got some money. Get the fuck out of here, Scott.
We heard little rumblings about Cole going to AEW. We heard little rumblings about Danielson going to AEW. Did we know when they were going? No, but we heard rumblings that it's a possibility. Punk obviously sold out just on a rumor, but there's been rumors. I have not heard a single rumor of Jay White going to AEW other than fan stuff on Twitter. Not like real. There hasn't been hints of Jay White. I mean, outside of watching the All Access, the AEW show that they played on Saturday night or whatever. I think they showed a preview.
Randomly.
Yeah. They just showed like a preview for it. Outside of that, it shows Jay White basically giving Adam Cole his concussion, but like they don't make mention of him. He hasn't been hinted like all these other guys have been hinting. Adam Cole, Britt Baker would come out and say "baby," you know what I mean? You had a lot of Punk hints and everything. There hasn't been Jay White hints, And AEW is not in a position to let things like that stay completely quiet. WWE has always been very good at keeping those things quiet. And I highly doubt that Jay White has some type of non-compete clause because New Japan don't do shit like that.
No.
So where is he?
Yeah.
So I think
that's a good point.
I think he probably is going to WWE. So that puts it in a good position to have that match first, have the will he or won't he thing.
Yeah, all right. I'm changing my prediction. Cena's winning. I'm going with your plan. Jay White's debuting Monday. Also, there will be new Cena US champion merch. So money.
Yeah, it's everything right there.
And then it'll be the Switchblade era.
And then you have Jay White against Theory for a while. Theory wants
that's great.
Theory wants his title back. So
Damn. All right. Yeah, I'm damn. All right. Yeah. Cena wins. Also, not upset if Cena wins because I've come around. He's not the champion now all the time, so it's fine. I like him now. I think he's a good person. I don't hate him. I hate him from because it's hey man, I hate you. Yeah, I hate you. Shake hands. That kind of thing. All right, final match of the 2-night WrestleMania 39, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I defer to you first.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to take the ball here purely because I already kind of talked about this. I talked about this more back in the Gunther, so if anybody skipped towards the end just to listen to this, I did a lot of my
go back, motherfucker,
ranting then.
Listen to the whole episode.
So go back to the Gunther.
Analytics help.
But my ultimate what I said then, just in case you're only listening to now, was that this whole I feel like if Roman's going to lose, it has to be intertwined in with the bloodline, where I don't believe that Cody is. I think this is a lot of Cody's journey and not Cody's journey against Roman. I realize his injury played a lot into it and stuff like that, and maybe there would have been a longer build-up. WWE is not known for when they can't do it. They're not known for just calling an audible and then letting it go. I think that's why there's a lot of rumors saying that there's not a decisive winner on this yet, because I think it has that feel. Cody winning this is going to be huge. The problem is it could have been bigger, and I think they know that. And he's just not. It's not him against the bloodline. And I don't understand how you have Roman finally lose when the bloodline has been the biggest thing in wrestling for so long. You have him finally lose a match against somebody who just won the Royal Rumble and wants to win the title for their dad and just came back from AEW. And if we've known anything about Vince, and if Vince is involved, which I truly believe he is, Vince is one of the most spiteful motherfuckers there is. And I could tell you, which is why we got Sting losing to fucking Triple H at WrestleMania, and why we got DX going over on the NWO, Vince will do everything in his fucking power to make sure you know that his guy, Roman Reigns, is better than the guy who went and built a competition and thought he can come back and get a title. I think there's a lot of disappointment that's going to be out there with people. I think everybody fully, wholeheartedly believes that Cody's winning this. And I think it is way more 50-50 than anybody wants to even think about. I think it's more geared towards Reigns. I don't see it. If Cody wins, this is 100% Triple H's call, because Vince McMahon has never done... Vince McMahon, to a detriment to his own company and the viewers of watching this, has force-fed his own agenda down our throats. And now we all think that the guy who went and fucking shot cannons at WWE is going to come back and have his WrestleMania moment on fucking year one. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how the crowd's going to react to it when Reigns wins. But I don't know. And I've said to you earlier, too, and that this is where it whole goes back to earlier. It was during the Gunther thing. I would like to see Gunther win. I'd like to see a year-long Reigns ducking Gunther, Gunther winning the Rumble next year. Gunther finally wins those titles. while he's still the Intercontinental Champion. And you have a very Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, the two big names in there finally going at each other on the world's stage, and them saying Gunther's our guy now. Because that's what they did then. It was Ultimate Warrior's our guy now. It was a passing of the torch. Cody's not going to be the guy. It's going to be a huge moment, the family, all that other stuff. He won't be the guy. He'll be a guy. He'll be one of the guys. But I think we both can agree that if you're going to say who's going to be what WWE views as the guy, Gunther or Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has the personality and all that other stuff, but the look of what they want, the guy who worked like a motherfucker on his out of shape body, and I don't know. I don't see it, and I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm so, unless this is the only way Reigns wins and it doesn't end with everybody booing, is if The Rock confronts him at the end.
Okay.
And maybe
set up 40.
I just don't see that happening in Philly. I feel like you're getting a SummerSlam match out of them. I don't think you're. I don't know. I don't know. That's where my whole thing of Gunther finally going over him. Now maybe you get SummerSlam Gunther and Reigns, where Gunther finally wins the title and it becomes less about the title and more about just The Rock teaching Reigns a lesson. I don't know. I don't see why, outside of Cody Rhodes wants to win it for his dad and finally get his big moment. Like I said, this is Cody. It's Cody Rhodes' journey. It's not Reigns' all. Reigns is barely involved in this. I don't know.
So I see where you're coming from, because in a certain aspect, I'm thinking it from like Mortal Kombat, like, right. Liu Kang is the guy who beat Shang Tsung, beat Shao Kahn. He's the prodigal son. He's the chosen one, right? This, in your mind, is like if Johnny Cage were the one to beat, all these people. If Johnny Cage is the one to beat Shao Kahn, not, Liu Kang, not the chosen one, not the Shaolin warrior, the White Lotus warrior, things like that. For all you fighting game fans, that's that equivalent, right? But at the same time, the flip side of it, in which a lot of people, and I think we're predetermined to think from the hero's quest, the villain is Roman is one of the most capable and captivating villains we've ever had in professional wrestling. Finally, right? He's finally the thing that we've always wanted. That's why we kind of respect him. We do all this stuff. He's finally where I, as a fan, always wanted him. I'm happy with his reign. I'm actually happy that he was almost 1,000 days. Where Cody is not necessarily his storyline is he's fulfilling his destiny, right? He's finally fulfilling, similar to Drew McIntyre, that promised future that he had. He is the chosen one. He is from undesirable to undeniable. He is that guy. He's the grandson of a plumber. He's the American nightmare. All that stuff. He's the prodigal son return. That storyline, I think, is good. I think it works. And yes, it's not necessarily Cody versus Rowan, but it is Cody's story that he is returned. Can he overcome this mountain top, right? Can he reach the mountaintop where his father couldn't? And I think that's fine. I think that works. Or his mean ass, Cuban mom, like he said. But where a lot of people don't think about is the Roman story, right? The paranoia, the finally having everything, making everyone run at such a pace, right? Having Solo's not listening. Solo just lost his first match ever. Having Jimmy and Jay and the uncertainty there, having Sammy come into the bloodline and now be pushed out and cause a rift within the bloodline. And Cody, picking up on that, has built up the cracks. He's elevated the cracks. And he sees that he could break down this wall, this barrier, this mountaintop that is Roman Reigns. And I think the story is more, is Cody the guy who could finally dethrone Roman? and not necessarily from a Cody standpoint, but from a Roman standpoint. Roman has been running so fast, so strong since he won both titles, right? Even before that, just as Universal Champion, right? He's been running just so strong, so competent, so full of himself. Is his hubris finally going to be too big for him? And is that going to be his downfall? I think that's a storyline we're not trained to think about, is the villain side, because he's one of the rare villains that is captivating as much as this champion hero that we're going to get in Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
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 Both sides work. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that like Cody.
But I guess the problem with looking at it in that way, in a WrestleMania moment type thing, is now the crowd reaction in that perspective is more Roman finally lost and less about who finally beat him, if that makes sense. And I don't know. That's not.
Also, I think you are 50-50. I don't think I'm going to go with Cody. I'm definitely, no. I obviously wore the shirt and it was a joke, but at the same time, I think Cody's the one to dethrone him. I think his story, his hero's journey of, again, undesirable to undeniable, all the stuff, where he's been, how he's conducted himself, getting here is captivating. And I think he should be the one to beat Roman.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think the hubris of Roman finally, and Cody also breaking down the bloodline from outside with Kevin and Sammy. Not necessarily like they're not a unit, they're not a 3-man team, they're not a faction, but he's also elevated them and be like, you two need to work together because you guys are that good. And that doesn't it's not even from a standpoint like it helps me if you guys beat them. No, it's like, no, you guys can do this. Like, he's hyping so many people up with him. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think Cody wins. I predict that Cody will win. But I also am with you. I think it is very 50-50.
No.
I think even just from looking at wrestling TikTok, like I think a lot of people are very like, it's gonna be like this Saturday, Sunday, like adrenaline and like all that stuff. And then a lot of people were like, how are you gonna feel when you hear Roman's music play? I was like, damn, yeah, not wrong.
And the funny thing is, I've come to expect Roman to win like a bad thing, but I don't know that this is bad for them if he wins. I just don't.
No, I just don't see where you go if he wins. That's my only thing, and I don't think that's a negative thing. I think him still being champion is not necessarily a negative thing.
I just told you where you go. I just booked the whole.
Oh yeah, you went Gunther, and I didn't think of that. Not only that, but
you also have The Rock. I think there's still the Rock part potential of this that we have not gotten yet. I still think there's both of those things. I think they're both still available to us in the long run. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm going to stick with Reigns, but I think I'm just as 50-50 as I think this match is. I'm not going to be shocked either way. But I'm going to.
I think this will be the most hype I will be, the most invested I am in this match. This and the Usos.
Yeah, I'm going with Reigns purely just because I don't know. I don't know. I weirdly, I'd almost rather Cody win next year against Reigns. Like, try again.
Selfishly, because we're going to be there. I would also like that.
But then
I hope he comes out of the red, white, and blue.
But then at least at that point, he's intertwined in this a little bit more. Like, I don't know. I feel like for such a long Reigns reign, that I feel like Seth Rollins coming back and winning it would have been nice. Like that, there's just I understand why everybody wanted Sammy, because you feel like it needs to end in a big way, and that's why I wanted the Gunther thing, because I feel like that is a big moment. That is a big transitional moment. This, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's why people wanted the titles to be split, because then it makes more sense. You give Cody the winning one of the matches and Sammy losing the other. It still continues Reigns on his thing while giving Cody his moment, but Cody didn't beat him for both titles, and it continues both. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have a tough time seeing either one happening, so
yeah. I also predict Cody's going to break the titles up on Monday.
No. I don't know. I'm going with Reigns. Maybe you know what? We are watching WWE, and my last thing here, because I said we were going to wrap this up about 10 minutes ago, and we did not. Is I don't want to see it, but man, some type of like tap pin, same thing. They split up the titles that way. I don't know. I see. I don't know. I don't want to see the WrestleMania end in that kind of fashion, but something where like,
because he got the guillotine, right? That's Roman's. Like, so he puts him in the guillotine,
but like his shoulders are down, then he gets pinned at the same time Cody taps.
God damn it, that's WWE. I swear to God, if this happens, ResPass, you need to put the fucking
and
Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm music while you say this.
They will have Cody win. They'll give him his moment. And then on Monday, they're going to figure out that he actually tapped at the same time. It got missed. Or, like, you know, I don't know. They're going to do something where Reigns is going to... Yeah. It's just what's going to happen. I don't know.
Damn it. God damn it. I swear to God, you better make that TikTok. The Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
I'm so happy we get to finish the episode on this. Well, it was good to be back, Carlos, other than technical issues. That's what kind of delayed us here a little bit.
It's not Apron work if it's not technical issues.
No, I hate to rush through this ending here, but I am very, very, very late. So, on that note, hopefully we come back after WrestleMania. I don't see any reason except for my computer blowing up overnight. So, on that note, we'll see you when we see it.